In the dark shadows, in the white cold, fearlessly we search for knowledge new and old. We drink the strong spirits and read the ancient tomes. The order of the Abracast. We are the brave and the bold.
Friday, March 27th, 2020. Friday, March 27th, 2020. Friday, March 27th, 2020. We're going to be talking about what happens on Friday, March 27th, 2020, as it relates to our current situation.
The Abracast. Occult, history, conspiracy, and violence.
It's that time again. The party's over, the fire is low, and all the ordinary motherfuckers have crashed already. We are the only ones left. That's right, my friends, recording straight down the pillar of severity in the ritual space underneath the Stigmata Studios building located in the heart of the Steel City. I am John Towers, and this is the Abracast. So you might be thinking, John, why are you all alone? This is the Friday episode. You're supposed to be having a very cool guest on with you to talk about weird stuff. What's going on? Well, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on is the quarantine, the fucking police state, the stay-at-home rules and everything else fucked my whole interview schedule up. I won't get into the details. I'm sure it's not hard to figure out, at least to choose your own adventure of fucking whatever your favorite pandemic outbreak fucking deadly Mutaba virus nonsense is going on. So instead of leaving you guys hanging, because I just promised I wasn't pod fading when I took the Wednesday episodes out. So now I'm like, well, I certainly can't just skip an episode. And I didn't know exactly what else to do. But over on Patreon and Subscribestar, since Monday this week, I have been asking people to turn off their television and their media for a little bit. I mean, I'm not asking you to be isolated, but I'm saying, hey, we're going to do an experiment, right? This is the experiment we're going to do. And this is the experiment we're doing this evening, by the way. It's continuation. The experiment that we're doing is we're turning off our television. We are, and I've noticed I'm not, I don't feel like I'm very good at this. This is only my fifth tarot read ever, right here. I did Monday, I did Tuesday, I did Wednesday, I did Thursday, and this is it. So the idea is we're going to do a classic 10-card spread for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And this is the exact same thing I've been doing on the Quarantarot episodes over at Patreon and Subscribestar for supporters of the show. So basically the idea is the intent, the question I'm asking as I'm shuffling these cards is, what's the state of, I believe that I've been limiting it to the United States. What condition is the United States in today? And I'm not bringing in any input. I basically have stopped watching the news and all of the fear pornness of it. So, at first it was pretty rocky, and I'm sure it isn't as good as it's going to get. See, so people are like, you should learn a new skill while you're in quarantine. So this is it. I know a lot about the tarot. If you're a longtime listener of the show, you know, I've talked about it for hours. I've read tons of it, but it's all been academic for me. So at this point in time, the experiment is entering, you know, the second kind of phase. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, hidden from everybody on the on the Patreon page and the Subscribe Star page. But actually, I did on Thursday's episode, I did get a little ballsy, and I actually made my first official prediction based on a card reading. And you guys will know by now if that has come to pass or not. I'm recording this early because of my schedule and whatnot. In the administration time it takes to get these things up and to where they're available for you fellows and ladies. So if Hillary Clinton did something stupider or more grandiose than normal on Thursday, then I am probably having a pretty good morning right now. But if not, then I'm like, well, she just did it. She just did it and no one knows about it yet. Or, alternatively, she just did it and the media is covering it up right now. We'll find out about it sooner or later. And I have this date like a red letter in burned upon my brain. Anyhow, enough of babbling and gibbering and jabbering. Hey, if you're listening to this and you're still on board, even though you're expecting, I had a great interview lined up. I did have a great interview lined up, but it was on the interviewees were on a different continent. And with the current situations, we just felt it was better to postpone because I'm not in this business to waste anybody's time to get a bunch of garbled audio, that is for sure. So I hope in the near future we'll be able to make this connection. These people they wrote a book that helped set me on my path, and I was so stoked to talk about it. I think I actually blew the cover on one of the Quarantarot episodes, probably on the Thursday episode. I think that I blew the secret. And of course, as soon as I did it, shit started to fall apart. So be that as it may. Take that however you want it. I'm never going to tell anyone what, unless you sign into the mailing list, because then I try to tell everybody what's coming up. So, okay, I felt I've babbled long enough. So let's get into this first 10-card spread. We're going to do a 10-card spread for Friday. We might take a little break. Then we'll do a 10-card spread for Saturday. And then we might take a little break. And then we might do a 10-card spread for Sunday. So for the Quarantarot episodes, they have been taking me about 20 to 25 minutes a piece to do. And like I said, this is academic for me. I don't bring to the table a bunch of intuition. Unfortunately, I feel like I would be a better tarot card reader if I did. So yeah, let's do this. Yeah, let's just fucking do it. Let's start. Let's get this party. Let's get this Quarantino party started. I got my Bereth sigil shirt yesterday, by the way. It's fucking awesome. So good. Check out the store section if you're interested in the shirts. We're adding new shirts all the time. I don't think there will be a new one added by the time this airs, but I'm working on a doozy. One that I tried to figure out for a long time how to do. Patreon supporter Ryan figured it out. He figured out the formula. I'm working on the shirt as we speak. Well, not as we speak. Probably as you're listening to this, I'm working on the shirt. I don't know. Anyhow, let's get into this thing. So raise your vessel of the art to the sky, filled with your weapon of mass distraction. Say hail to all the Patreon and Subscribe Star supporters out there. Hail, everybody. And thank you guys for your support. Also, letting you guys know that... Well, no, oh shit, how did I pull the trigger too fast? Hold on. if you're interested in this card reading business, check out the Patreon subscribe star. I have plans to do this at least until through next week. Depends on when the quarantine, when the police state here gets lifted in Allegheny County. We're going to kind of play it, but I'm committed to do Monday through Thursday of next week. So if you're interested in that, check it out. I feel like I kind of got my training wheels off going into this thing. I know I have a lot to learn, and I'm sure people that are a lot more versed in slinging these cards will be able to help me out and or criticize the fuck out of me, whichever comes first. One other thing, what was it? No matter what happens, if you like the interview programs on Friday, tune in next Friday. I already have it scheduled, like it's already been recorded. And you're like, well, why don't you just play that one for this Friday and spare us from all your lame tarot card reading attempts? Well, the problem is because sometimes podcast is an art form, and sometimes, just sometimes, timing matters, okay? So just take that as will. I have a smash up, bang up, awesome interview that's going to air next Friday. So this is not pod fade. Don't let this tarot card business shy away from the show. If you're not into it, just come back next Friday. I got an awesome interview. All right. So here, I'm going to lay these goddamn cards down. Already interesting. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so there's some notes here, and I'm going to be backtracking a little bit. If you're familiar with the Quarantarot episodes that are on Patreon and Subscribe Star, since this is kind of like open up to everybody, I'm going to be kind of covering some of the same ground. The first part of ground that I'm going to be covering is that apparently some tarot card folks choose the significator card. I do not, because I have such an open-ended sort of question. I let the cards choose it for me. The significator card, it signifies the matter about which the inquiry is to be made. So this card that I'm about to talk about is our significator card, and this card is our significator card is the King of Cups, and this is a fair and honest man, a man of business, law, or divinity. He's responsible. He's deposed to oblige the querent, equity, art, and science, and those who profess science and art and law. So maybe to me, this seems like this is a thing that I'm doing now, is I'm starting to interject where it's at. So to me, I think that maybe this is talking about the question that started getting raised on Wednesday, which is whether we should open up industry again. Science, art, law, the law of divinity, and being an honest and responsible man. So maybe that's the question, how the question has manifested itself in our spread today. If you have a different take on it, let me know. And remember, I'm just going to leave it late. I'm going to leave it late. So the second card in the spread is what covers our significator card. It lay across the first. This is the card that crosses him. It shows the nature of the obstacles in the matter. And if it is a favorable card, opposing forces will not be serious, or it may indicate that something good in itself is not productive of good or particular connection. So we've seen this card in our experiment already before. This is interesting. This is something that's happened over and over again, and where we're seeing the same cards show up, and I'm like, maybe I'm not shuffling them enough, but I'm shuffling the fuck out of them. So I think what it is it's because we're kind of going day to day, we're seeing some of the same cards popping up over and over again. The card that I just pulled is the Nine of Swords. Like I said, we've seen this earlier this week. So what's crossing our I don't know, creativity, our industry, our art and science, which maybe it's academia. What's crossing all of this is the Nine of Swords, which is interesting because it's a bachelor, a priest, a clergyman, a hermit. It's some kind of monastic order. It's a religion or a cult or devotion. It's a rite, a ritual, or a ceremony. So it's also dogma, dogmatism, ecclesiastical spirit, scholastic mind, and ceremony, as I mentioned before. And this conclusion here, this dogma or dogmatism, is what I want to focus in on, because I don't see a whole lot of religion being thrown around right now, but I do see a lot of left and a lot of right being thrown around right now. So maybe the dogma isn't a religious dogma. Maybe it's a political dogma, which is totally crossing and covering the situation we find ourselves in, especially even this thing where they can't get this stimulus bill passed either way, and it's like it's divided along political lines. So this is how, okay, so just emerging, just these two cards, this is kind of how I'm seeing this spread shake out for Friday. I would like to know what you have to think. The next card we're going to turn is the card in the third position. It is placed above the signifier. This is what crowns him. It represents the aim or the ideal of the matter, the best it can be achieved under the circumstances. And I think that we have seen this card as well. Hold on. It's a Queen of Pentacles, but she's reversed. Here, I think that we're going to be talking about the schism right now. What I just called the dogmatic, politically dogmatic schism. The Queen of Pentacles is a great card. She's an ideal of greatness of soul. She has a serious cast of intelligence. She stands for opulence and riches, luxury and assurance, security and liberty. That's all good stuff. However, like I said, she's reversed. So she stands for doubt and indecision and uncertainty, timidity, apprehension, and vacillation. I remember for sure we talked about her. I don't keep a running tally of these. I should figure out some way to do it. So I think what we're talking about is this schism that we're seeing. If you have a Twitter account, just log into Twitter and just scroll through it for a second. You want to throw up. All right, so I'm about to turn up the card in the fourth position. And this is the card that is beneath the signifier card, and it shows the foundation or basis of the matter, which has already been passed into actuality, in which the significator has made its own. So here's what's at the foundation of it. Okay. All right. So far, we got a pretty balanced spread. We got a Pentacles, a Sword, and a Wands. I just flipped over the Knight of Wands. And, I mean, listen to this. He's upright. He's the right way. The Knight of Wands. He's friendly, departure, absence, flight, immigration, a change of residence, desertion, transmigration, transplantation, transmutation, separation, disunion, rupture, discontinuance, or discord. He is a representative of a father or of the family, a relative, a man visiting the house and bringing new and perhaps disturbing influences into it, disturbing domestic happiness. I mean, this seems to be nailing it. I mean, am I wrong? Everybody, am I wrong? This is a new aspect that I'm adding as I'm understanding the cards more and more. So the King of Cups faces, if you're standing here looking at the spread as I'm looking at them, he's facing to the right. So this card that's in the fifth position will Okay, this. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So he's facing to the right. So this is what's before him. Not before him as an after, but this is what comes next. It shows the influence that is coming into his actions and will operate in the near future. So I'm just adding this dimension. I stuck with the standard layout for the last 4 readings. So I'm becoming more and more sophisticated as I'm doing this, right? So this card is one of my favorites. And we haven't pulled it yet. Bros, if you look at if you go and look at the tarot cards I designed, this card is hilarious. It took a tremendous amount of will to not turn this into a blowjob joke. So the card that lays before our significator card is the High Priestess. And she stands for science, wisdom, knowledge, and education. And she's upright, which is great for us. I mean, seems like a pretty optimistic thing. Education and science is before us. Maybe it's going to get us. It's going to get us out of this nonsense. So, because I'm taking into account which way this card's looking, now the 6th card is showing what is behind him. What is behind the significator card. It gives the influence that has just passed or is now passing away. So we haven't had the High Priestess yet, and we certainly haven't had this pleasant gentleman show up yet. So I just flipped in the what is behind him position. It's the Devil card. Ladies and gentlemen, coming all the way from the 3rd arcana, or the 3rd septenary of the major arcana, the Devil card. So as crazy as this card looks, we talked about this many times in our different tarot card episodes. He basically just stands for the fatality for the good, or the fatality for evil if he's reversed. And our gentleman here is upright, so he is fatality. He's signifying, he's saying what was behind them is fatality for good. I'm not exactly sure what to make of that. I don't know. I'm running along all right. Well, it's because I did all the babbling at the very beginning. So we're going to move over to the 7th card. And this card... So the first set of cards that I just read were kind of laid out in a cross section. There's... It's like there's a north, south, east, and a west. And there's a card upright in the middle and a card cockeyed in the middle, which was the 9 of Swords. The next set of cards in the 10-card spread, it goes to the right of this cross sort of structure, and it goes up from 7, 8, 9, 10. So the 7th card... And it goes back to what the card in the first position is. The 7th card signifies himself. That is the significator, whether a person or thing, in our case, circumstance. And it shows the position or attitude of the card. So this is interesting. This is, hold on. All right, 7, flip over. We've seen this card too. So interesting. So the question we came into this thing was, what's the current state of, what condition is the United States in? And this is this card showed up as the card in the first position, I believe Monday. So this is the universe or the world. This is the world card, and it's completion, it's good, and it's reward. So this could also be interpreted as the human will enlightened by science and manifested by action. So I find that this is a pretty optimistic spread so far. He's also from the 3rd septenary of the major arcana. And I'm looking around, just take a quick thing. Okay, we're due for a cup or two. No, we got a cup. Cup, sword, wand, pentacle. All right. Yeah, we're pretty even so far. And then we also have 3 major arcana cards. So what's coming up next? I don't know. Here we go. We're talking about the 8th card in the spread. And this signifies the house of the significator card. And when I say house, what I mean is it's his environment. It's the environment. So when the question is like, what condition is my country in today due to in its current crisis? This is the environment and the tendencies at work, wherein which we have an effect on the matter. It's the position in life or the influence, the immediate friends, and so on and so forth. So let's flip this motherfucker. Oh, well, okay. I mean, it fits. We had the 9 of swords, and now here we pull the 10 of swords, which is a really depressing card. My wife is way better at this than I am, and she always kind of flinches when she turns over these swords cards. So it's a guy laying there face down. That's the way we like to... with all these swords jammed in his back, and it stands for tears, affliction, plaints, complaints, sadness, desolation, and sorrow. So I was kind of taken aback when I first flipped it, but I mean, if you, like I just mentioned, if you look at Twitter right now, it's a shit show. Like, everybody's mad about everything. And then when they're not mad about anything, they're fucking terrified about it, about something. So it could also be about karmic results, which I don't believe that's true. Material limits, physical necessity. I mean, we see all this stuff in like our runs on toilet paper and all this other nonsense everyone's doing out there. It can also stand for official might and power, which I'm suffering under right now. I have this tyrannical governor, obedience to the same in official persons. The mother church and monastery, we've already kind of wiped that religious stuff out. I don't believe we work in the same kind of paradigm as we did when these things were laid. I think we have to redefine some of these things like we did with the dogmatic problem. So at first I was like, this is a shitty card to flip over. But with a little bit of retrospect, you're like, yes, everybody is everybody is suffering right now in one degree or another. So I think it might be warranted. I think that might be a warranted card. I don't think it drags us down because I think we still have enough optimism here when I look at these cards. So this is the one I've been having problems with. This is the 9th card, and this card signifies hopes and dreams, and hopes and fears, and I've only got the fear side out of this. So let's see what happens. I think we've had this gentleman before too. It's funny how fast all these roll together when you're reading them every day, or when you're doing this every day. However, I received a 4 of Pentacles, but he's reversed in this hopes and fears position. So let's see, reversed. It's a circle. It's a circuit. And in general, that which limits, encircles, holds. It stands for walls. It encloses. So it may be convenient. It's further obstacles. It's delay and it's suspense. I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? This rush for items, like I just mentioned, like the sell on toilet paper and all of this stuff, and also we're trapped. Literally, we're trapped. I mean, they're talking about they're talking about walls. We're stuck in our own walls. You know, I don't feel the need to go off on this anymore. I think it's very self-explanatory. And this guy, look, he's holding this fucking pentacle in his arms so greedily, like he can't clutch it tight enough. It's like he's got a fucking roll of toilet paper in there. He can't let go. All right, so the 10th card for Friday is what will come. This is the final result, the culmination, which is brought about by the influences shown on these other cards that have been turned up in this experiment. And the 10th card is, we've seen this motherfucker before. I need to create a spreadsheet or something for this experiment. So I just flipped over the 7 of Swords. He's right-sided up. So he's okay, so this is the best case scenario, right? The final result as it relates to these cards. This is hope, wish, design, will, taste, fantasy. Another version says also quarreling a plan that may fail. So that's all good stuff. This is also closing with and meeting the opponent. Perhaps some fighting, but more probably with strategy than the fighting itself indicated. Using the weapons of the enemy. Vaccines. Practical ability. Again, here we come. We hit on this science of the arts and the crafts and tricks. Understanding of practical and material obstacles and of the work that is to be done. The enemy will be disarmed and arguments will be undone. A person of technical ability. Favors technical professions, success by means of capability. Success by the means of capability and combined with diplomacy. Good care taken, scheme, design. So I'm looking through here and I see 1, 2, 3 swords, 2 pentacles, 1 wand. We got no cups. How did I miss that? Yeah. Actually, I did bring that up earlier. We don't have any cups. So what I see here, generally speaking, is it's started out with a discussion about the economy and getting our industry back moving again. Getting our not retail. It wasn't retail. Nowhere here did it show up with retail, but it talked about arts and sciences a lot. And I believe it seems like there was like some medicine stuff in there, and then also just the capable people that are going to bring us through this. And I feel this spread is pretty good. So I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a commercial break here, and then I have to jot down the order of all these cards, and then we'll come back and we'll do Saturdays. All right. Hey, so listen, since I recorded this episode, which was yesterday, and by the time I'm posting this episode, which is tomorrow, I went ahead and I did create a spreadsheet with all of the data on here that I'm talking about. So you can download the spreadsheet and filter by card types. You can figure out how many times they've showed up in the spreads, if they were reversed or not. All kinds of information in there for you data-driven people. This is part of the experiment. It's available in the Fulgar Correspondentia site, part of the website. So if you sign into the mailing list, you'll get a link that'll take you to this part of the website, and there's a ton of bonus material there. And one of the bonus material towards the top of the page is going to be this download site where you can download this spreadsheet with this data. So let me know what you come up with if you guys start crunching it. I was something of a report nerd in a previous life, so I'm curious to see what kind of information comes out of this. So right now there's at least 4 days on there. And then I'm going to put the data from this episode, these 3 days worth of data, on there as soon as possible. But you can get to the website whenever you want. Thank you.
Learn more at abracast.com. Get bonus content by signing up for the mailing list. Get all that plus many exclusive episodes by supporting the show at patreon.com or subscribestar.com.
Saturday, March 28th, 2020. Saturday, March 28th, 2020. What's the condition my condition is in? Saturday, March 28th, 2020. Saturday, March 28th, 2020. Find out what condition my condition is in. I gotta make a note to add that to the playlist. Saturday, March 28th, 2020. Oh. Saturday. All right, here we go. Damn it, we see this fucking guy over and over again. I think we've seen this guy more than we've seen anybody else. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, our significator card. I think we're in for a rough Saturday. Our significator card is the Five of Cups. I swear to God, this guy showed up more than any. I got to build a spreadsheet or something so I can do a pivot table and figure this out instead of just trying to rely on my memory. So this card is interesting, and I've waxed poetic about it a number of times through here. I think it's popped up like 3 times already. It's a guy in a black cape, and he's kind of like looking down, and he's worried about these 3 spilled cups that are in front of him, but he's not paying any attention to the cups that are still upright and behind him. He's not paying any attention to these fucking cups. And there's like a little stream with a castle in the background. There's like a little bridge, and someone forgot to color the sky between the archway right there. It's graphic designer gripe, bro. Anyhow, the problem that we have right now is that he is inverted, like Maverick. So, well, maybe that's a good thing, now that I think about it. Waite would say reverse the Five of Cups is about family, forefathers, ancestry, a liaison, alliance, affinity, acquaintance, and I'm not going to say that, that last one. But basically, it's a card of loss. So I think that we are, because all these things are kind of in past tense, the legacy, inheritance, succession, forefathers, ancestry, there seems to be kind of a past tense sort of vibe to it, which I'm nervous about. I'm really nervous about it. Okay, so the card that crosses this significator card is he's a noble chap. We got the Knight of Pentacles, who is a utility, advantage, serviceableness, profit, interest, gain, importance, necessity. Because he crosses the card, he crosses the significator card. He isn't reversed or regular ways. So I don't know. Maybe I should do both sides, but I'm just going to stop there because maybe this dude is being maybe the significator is being pessimistic in spite of himself. Maybe he's being pessimistic against truthfulness. maybe he can't see the advantages of what his obstacle is, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If the Knight of Pentacles is utility, advantage, serviceableness, interest, gain, here we go. Those are stock market words, or importance and necessity. Maybe this guy can't see what he's perceiving his obstacle as being something positive. I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching into the realm of interpolation. Okay, the third card, what crowns our significator card? We haven't seen this card yet. This is exciting. All right, so we got a Two of Cups reversed. Now, the Two of Cups is one of those cards where you look at it and you're like, what is going on here? It's got like two people. I guess it's a female and a male, and they got two cups and like this caduceus like staff stretching up between their two cups, and like this lion head with wings. Well, we're initiated. We know this is all about the fucking. Anyhow, what does the book say? What do the old tomes say about this? It's love and it's passion, it's inclination, it's attraction, it's concord, it's friendship, it's interrelation of the sexes. I told you so. However, we run into a snag because our card is reversed. So this is lust and jealousy. Maybe we have had this before. I'm having deja vu. Man, doing 5 or 6 of these like right in a row really bends your mind. Where was I at? Jealousy. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we're talking about here this guy's not appreciating what he has versus what he's lost. And this gentleman, the Knight of Pentacles, is all about utility and interest and gains. And he's crossing him. And then what's crowning the signifier is this sense of lust and jealousy, wish, desire. These motherfuckers are trying to find the toilet paper too. The card also might give, says A.E. Waite, the desire which is not in nature, but by which nature is sanctified. I think that means fucking. And I've said before that I think that we're going to see a baby bump out of this quarantine area, which is hilarious to me. Okay, here we go. Card 4. This is what is beneath the signifier card. This is what has started these chains of events. And this is interesting. We got another cup card right out the gate. We got 3 cup cards in a row, straight down the middle. The signifier card is the 5. We got the 2 with these 2 fucking up here. And then now we got the 10 of cups. And it's upright. So what do we got? A town, a native land, a living place, residence, also citizenship. We've seen this on the Friday read, right? About immigration and travel. It also means a well-earned security, wise living, husbandry, being at ease, feeling safe. Wow, feeling safe. A person who's taking care of the querent's interest and maybe correct and actually presented in the shape of servants, shopmen, purveyors, the city, the birthplace, the physical constitution, the tabernaculum. Now listen to this. Medicine of body and soul, organic life of the body and in the community, practical social conditions. In weak cases, the house of Virgo may cause irritability and agitation, aka or etc. A weak nervous system must avoid the full sway of emotions. I think everyone's worried about everybody else's mental state nowadays. Would you say that's true? Okay, so the 5 of Cups, which is our significator, because he is reversed, he's looking to the right-hand side. So we're in our same situation as we were for Friday, where For the card in the 5th position is what is ahead. What is ahead? It shows the influence that is coming into action and will operate in the near future. And that card is, we just saw him. So I just flipped over the devil card. The devil card. And we just got done talking about the devil card, where it's basically fatality for good or fatality for evil. And he's reversed. So he's fatality for evil. I don't know what to make of that. All right. So this is the card that's facing... This is the card that is behind our signifier card, which is the gentleman in the black cloak paying attention to the spilt milk. And here we have swords. I feel like I just took a turn into like conspiracy theory land. So I got the page of swords who is reversed. And reversed is the more evil side of the qualities such as vigilance, Secret Service, a spy, an indiscreet person. So what we're talking about, Waite would say, would be the unforeseen, the sudden, the surprising, the improvisation, acting or speaking without due preparation. Okay, well, I don't know. Are we talking about politics? If politics gets finally seeping into this thing? I think I'm going to have to cut Sunday from this plan. I think we're just going to do Friday and Saturday. Just a heads up. Okay, so the 7th card, or the card in the 7th position, as I'm trying to get into the habit of saying, is the in the operation, this signifies the signifier card. This is the signifier, whether person or thing, or in our circumstance, it's our circumstance. And here's a good one. If I were ever to be trapped in a tarot card, this is the tarot card that I would want to be trapped in. This is what I'm saying, bros. I just flipped over the 3 of cups, and you got 3 drunk fucking blonde chicks here, all like drinking and toasting and stuff. That's where I want to be. I need to be in there. I need to do assessing. Who has the hair tie around their wrist? That's a indicator. That's a pro tip for you single guys out there. You incels or whatever. You know who I'm talking to. So the 3 the 3 of cups is success, happy issue, lucky solution, victory, accomplishment, cure, healing, fulfillment, matter of plenty and perfection and merriment. It's a good time, favorable opportunities, commercial and intellectual friendship success is a good issue of everything. It's good health, eventually recuperation, healing, being in good relations with people, lightheartedness, holidays, and joys. And I mean, just looking at the card, I'm thinking there's probably a blowjob or 2 to be in there. So we go to the 8th card, which is the environment. In our situation, it would be the environment, or maybe it's better to say it would be like the culture of the... Oh. It's a shocking card to flip over, but I mean, I guess it's okay, because this is the overall, this is where we are right now in this set of cards. This is sort of a snapshot of like our current events. So putting it in a perspective that way, I just flipped over the Tower card. So this is ruin, disruption, overthrow, loss, bankruptcy. I don't think I need to say any more than that. I think we're all worried about the economy. I think we're all worried about how we're going to pay our bills and get our our bill collectors to stop calling us and whatnot. I think we should all just get back to work pretty soon. So here we move on to my nemesis, the hopes and fears card. We've seen her before. I think this rings true. I flipped over the 2 of swords, and she's reversed. So reversed, she represents falsity, imposture, lying, duplicity, bad faith, deception, and superficiality. I think that's easy to say, no matter what side of the political. So this is politics, bro, literally. And even with the blowjobs, you see what I'm saying? So whatever side that you happen to be on, you are seeing this same fear on both sides, I would imagine. And I'm going to flip this 10th card here, this last card, and this card is the best case scenario. And we've actually seen this motherfucker too. You guys don't know. I stop recording while I'm shuffling these cards because I'm terrified that I'm not shuffling them enough, but I'm landing on these same cards over and over again. So let's talk about this one. He's upright. He's the right way, which is important to know because he's a very positive card. I flipped over the 3 of Wands in like this best case scenario situation. The 10th card is what will come. It's the final result, the culmination, which is brought about by the influences shown by these other cards that have been turned up in this experiment. So let's talk about the 3 of Wands. Enterprise, effort, trade, commerce, discovery, usurpation. I think that is a brilliant one. I think by the time this is all said and done, there are people that are going to be like, why do I need to go to work? Why do I need to send my kids to this school? We need to usurp a lot of this power back from the government. That's my humble opinion. We're talking about daring, temerity, and also imprudence and interruption, the cessation, and listen to this, the end of troubles. This card has shown up at least one other time during this experiment. And I apologize because I did say that I was going to do up until Sunday in this episode, but I'm kind of spent. We kind of been running long, and I still need to do a little bit of administrative work on this episode. So I think we're going to end it here. I apologize. Maybe I'll go and edit out all the sun. No, I'm not going to do that. But if you guys are interested in this and what I'm doing here with this experiment, come join me on. It's on all levels of Patreon and Subscribestar. Literally, it's $1 a day or $1 a month, and you're getting all these at least for the next week. But it depends on how long this quarantine business has lasted. Anything that I want to mention? I got a birthday coming up. So I hope to survive until that happens. Also, what else? I got some new t-shirts lined up going into the store. I have, I think, one right now that I don't have, which is Pastor Larry's Institute for Spiritual Warfare, which is really fun to do. I've never drawn Pastor Larry seriously before, so that was really fun to do. Besides the mailing list, because of this current crisis, I can't predict what's going to wind up in the Fulgar Correspondentia. I'm hoping that I could get at least some fun stuff in there. I try to do some real fun stuff all the time. And then, like I said, if you're not down for this tarot card nonsense and you're like, I want to get back to my interviews, just hold on loosely, bro, with me. We're gonna get back to our regularly scheduled interview situation. Come back next week. I have a great interview for you next week, and it's already done. There's no way I'm going to be able to fuck it up. So that's it. Thank you. Hey, and during this time, please be safe. Please take care of yourself and take care of each other. If you got some neighbors out there that if you've been listening to the show, I'm not getting along with my neighbor, but I'm still checking in on her, making sure she's got food and toilet paper and all this other kind of stuff. So, maybe this is something that one of these optimistic sort of tarot card readings can bring to the world, is a little bit of optimism and a little bit of, I think when this is all said and done, people might be a little bit more sharing, maybe like leave it on your porch kind of sharing, not so much fist bump, handshake, slap your dicks together sharing, but it's interesting, very interesting. And I'm just glad that you guys are all being safe and sound. And I'm sorry I couldn't do Sunday. I just can't do it. I'm burned out right now. God, I'm a fucking, is that a pussy move? I'm not sure. I mean, I think I did my best. I don't know. I'm sorry if I let you down. Hey, so listen, since I recorded this episode, which was yesterday, and by the time I'm posting this episode, which is tomorrow, I went ahead and I did create a spreadsheet with all of the data on here that I'm talking about. So you can download the spreadsheet and filter by card types. You can figure out how many times they've showed up in the spreads, if they were reversed or not. All kinds of information in there for you data-driven people. This is part of the experiment. It's available in the Fulgar Correspondentia site part of the website. So if you sign into the mailing list, you'll get a link that'll take you to this part of the website, and there's a ton of bonus material there. And one of the bonus material towards the top of the page is going to be this download site where you can download this spreadsheet with this data. So let me know what you come up with if you guys start crunching it. I was something of a report nerd in a previous life, so I'm curious to see what kind of information comes out of this. So right now there's at least 4 days on there. And then I'm going to put the data from this episode, these 3 days worth of data, on there as soon as possible. But you can get to the website whenever you want. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode. Send an email or visit us on social media to let us know what you think about this topic. And please remember to leave a 5-star rate and review.
What's so important, bro? Why can't you finish your tarot card reading, man? It's only like another 20 to 30 minutes of your night. What can you do? I've got to go make salmon tacos. I have to go make salmon soft tacos. That's what I got to do. So I'm sorry. I'll turn one card over for you. How's that? Let's try this. This is a new portion of the experiment. I've never done this before. So here's what your Sunday is going to look like, you ungrateful fucks. I'm sorry. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Here we go. I'm going to flip one card over. This is going to represent Sunday. Well, that's an interesting one. I've never run into this one before. I'm just dragging my shit. I'm dragging my shit into the universe. So I flipped over the 4 of Cups. But he's reversed. So reverse the 4 of Cups means news, presage, a new light on things, novelty, and new acquaintances made. So I'm going to go ahead and make a little prediction that Sunday there's going to be a little bit of optimism in the news on Sunday. That's what I'm going to say. Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. All right, guys. Thank you. I'm John. I love you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that you found this at least interesting, and I hope that you guys check out the Patreon, Subscribe Star, Quarantarot episodes. Thanks.